Let me add. All right. So you came in. We watched The People's Joker, and you bought it.
Yeah, I bought it.
Uh,
I've seen it twice before. I saw it in Missouri. I drove all the way to Missouri to go see it. And then like 2 weeks later, they were playing in Little Rock, so I went to go see it there again. And I saw it with my brother, and Vera was there at that time, so.
in Little Rock?
Yeah, she was there.
What?
Yeah.
God, where do you find out all this stuff? I never know where to go for anything. For anything. Anything.
I mean, I'm on the internet a lot, so.
Man. I mean, I'm on the internet sometimes. Jeez, I don't know. I heard about this movie mostly from the, whatchamacallit, the press, literally the press, from the stinking lawsuit because of Warner Brothers trying to sue and trying to get all this, legal stuff done. And I want to really talk about, because she got away with this by classifying it as a parody movie.
Yeah.
And there are so many things in the movie. Namely, I want to mention Batman.
Mm-hmm.
Like how they give him the mustache and animating him. Do you think maybe they might have had an actual actor in a bat suit, but they had to take it out and animate over it, or do you think they always thought we should animate it, and then we could change it based on whatever we need to change?
I mean, I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. God, I feel like she said something at the Q&A about that, but I can't remember for the life of me. But so I've been doing a lot of research on this movie as well. I can't remember, honestly. I just know. I know that she said something about Jason Todd's Joker, or the fucking Jared Leto, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
She said something about that, like they could use that. Oh, because like Jared Leto was in Dallas Buyers Club and he played a trans woman, and
okay.
So I guess they could use that version of the Joker.
That's a clever idea. Or maybe did that inspire
Well, I think it was like a loophole. I'm pretty sure that's what she said, for them to be able to use it.
Oh, or maybe it's just to have any Joker portrayed transish at all, do you think? Like, maybe they could be like, well, we could say it's a joke because Jared Leto played the Joker and was a trans.
I think it's more, I think it's more like that.
And that's why I think is the most interesting about this movie is, so it's classified as a parody. When you think of a parody movie, you're usually thinking of like scary movie, superhero movie, epic movie, blank title movies, like spoof movie. I would think more spoof than
Airplane.
Yeah, Airplane, Naked Gun, all that jazz. And this I don't think is 100% different. It does have more of a narrative structure, but it is kind of jokes per second, and some you might miss because you're busy laughing at the other one. Or I was. There's so many little things that I was just like, why is this a reference? Why am I saying this? Like, for example, they're like driving through the like farmland or whatever, and you just sort of see the crash site of where Superman landed, I guess, or something. Yeah. Like little stuff like that was very just funny to me. I do want to talk about that Jared Leto Joker, because as soon as I saw that they had someone basically in the the damaged, all that Jared Leto Joker getup, I was like, why would you use this Joker? And then when they called him Jason Todd, I was like, why? Because people, Snyder Bros have this whole headcanon with the the Snyder movies. I'm sorry, we're gonna have a lot of DC talk in here, as mixed in with this movie because it's a DC movie. Yeah. And I'm glad to go on those tirades, but people would be like, oh, and they never explain it in the Snyder movies what happened to like Ben Affleck's Robin or whatever. It's just heavily implied that Jared Leto's Joker killed that Robin, but then there was like some online headcanon of like, well, what if that Jared Leto's Joker was his Robin? And I thought they were going to, and they did though. They did go with that sort of idea in this movie, The People's Joker. But what I liked about it is they did flip it in the middle, like before they even did talked about Jason Todd being the other Robin, Carrie something, the girl Robin. I was thinking that, like, and it was before they revealed it, but I feel like maybe they were sort of, leading us to that point. But I was thinking, wow, like, what if a Joker did get a sex, or not a Joker, but what if a Robin got a sex change and then became a Joker? Is a fun idea. And the way they were able to utilize that idea and insert it into this, headcanon of what this Jared Leto Joker represents also makes me kind of be like, hey, that's my new headcanon for these Snyder movies in a way. And clearly the movie's not following a clear universe. It's sort of just making fun of DC in general. But I just thought that idea was something I think is just fun. It's rich. It's like a good comic book idea that they utilize for this movie. So I like it.
Interesting.
I don't know.
I mean, I don't know. I've never had those kind of. I don't know. I guess it does still dawn on me that it is like a DC movie with all these DC characters. But I just think I was more invested in the story and like the humor and stuff. So I didn't really think too deeply about any of that stuff. Like it's cool to see all those characters portrayed in a different light and a comedic light, but I don't know. I guess I was always more focused on the story and what the movie was trying to say, I guess. So I never got wrapped.
I'm not saying I wasn't focused on the story. I'm just saying these are fun tidbits.
I'm just saying. I never. Those thoughts never really entered my mind like that. I thought, oh, this is someone else's perspective on, whatever, Jason Todd.
But that's why I love, though, you can tell, I'm not pointing at anything, I'm just hand motioning, but you can tell she knows a lot about Batman lore in general. Yeah. Because she knows how to manipulate it in certain ways and still, give someone like me who might have a little bit more of that comic book knowledge, something to satiate me, be like, ooh, and, chew on in my brain while the rest of the story is going on. And I also like how she delves into the idea of Batman as an abusive parent / potential like sex abuser, because there are comics from the 50s that would that kind of show like Batman and Robin in the same bed. So you're like, I don't know, but then Robin's like a kid, and you're like, whoa. So when I was talking about the Robin that was my favorite was the girl Robin Carey. I don't remember her last name. It's because she becomes Robin when Batman is like old grizzled Batman, and her being a Robin is extremely problematic by the eyes of everyone. In that comic run, it's basically Dark Knight Returns. Yeah. Batman is just he's back and he's old and he's mad, and they break that down. They're like, what is with this rich old guy adopting these kids, and then. And in this movie, at least for Jason Todd, we know for sure he's effing getting it on with these kids, and that's kind of effed up.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Some of this shit is I don't know. I do have a comment on that, but I don't know. I've always thought of the Batman and Robin dynamic as just Batman being the parent that that his parents couldn't be for him because they got shot. So I guess I really looked at it that way, except whenever Bruce Timm starts with him and his obsession with Batman and Batgirl, which is just so fucking weird.
Yeah.
What the fuck is with this dude? That shit is so weird. It's like, I love the Batman the Animated Series and all that shit, but it's like, bro, like, why are you putting Batman and Batgirl together? This is Commissioner Gordon's daughter, right? Like, what the fuck?
That's what's so interesting also, though. Like, and that goes for, like, I agree. Batman is basically just the dad of whoever the Robin or whoever the sidekick usually is. But then that's when they get to play with the whole idea, but why are you doing it like 4 or 5 times? Like, especially if you supposedly might have lost one of them through some mishap of means where they die or something. It's like, why you keep putting kids in danger? And yes, the whole idea, and I think what you're talking about with the the Bruce Timm's obsession with trying to get Batman and Batgirl into a thing. I mean, it's a similar situation with Batgirl as any of the Robins. Like, I mean, granted, her father is Commissioner Gordon, not Batman, but she's still, like, sort of under his wing, both metaphorically and literally.
Bro, but it's also just like he's done it multiple times, too. He did it in Batman, the animated series. He did it in Batman Beyond. And he did it in that Killing Joke movie. It's like, bro, I need you to stop, bro. I just need you to, like...
Man, he just had a younger, I'm talking about Bruce Timm, like a younger female assistant that he's just trying to, subliminally be like, be with me. You could be with me.
I need him to stop whatever he's doing. I'm like, just, I don't know.
But so... I want to also do a couple comparisons to I Saw TV Glow, even though you haven't seen it yet, but it's a trans movie. I'm not spoiling it. I'm not going to spoil a thing. All I am going to say is, that, like, what the People's Joker is an idea that it's expounding on that I never thought about until I watched I Saw the TV Glow, was how just the idea of, like, everybody has an idea, or maybe not everybody, but people who give a flip when they shouldn't give a flip about trans people and, people who choose to be trans or whatever, I don't know. Like, their issues, I don't think they ever think about, okay, well, I as a person, I'm going to deny that person of being able to do this thing. But they don't think about what does it mean to be denied all these things. Like, I'm denying calling you the name you want to be called. I'm denying letting you be identified as the way you want to be. And what both these movies do such a good job at is, all right, well, let me put you into the perspective of the person who can't do these things that, if any no other person would be like, oh, well, why shouldn't I just be able to do this? Well, just because we're labeling you this thing. You know what I mean? Am I making any sense?
You're using a lot of vague...
I know, it's hard. It's hard.
You're using a lot of vague language.
It's hard to... word.
I sort of get what you're saying. You're saying, like,
people
are denied a lot of these things, and they don't ever put themselves in the shoes of another person to... Yeah, so...
They're not putting themselves in the shoes of what it could mean to be a trans person, and they're not even close to even acknowledging that as an idea, in a way. It's like, I don't even want to...
think about it.
Yeah. Which is like... Well, come on. And I think that's what the People's Joker does even better, because it is using the DC characters as a way to sort of, it's like a, laser for the cats. Just like, here, play with the laser, and the story's going to play out in front of you. And some of the people who maybe will have never engaged in this sort of movie are going to engage with it, and then, learn that perspective just a little bit more. And I especially think is, there are going to be a bunch of DC comic nerds, the bad ones, like the mean Redditors that might be like, oh, that's everything, oh, I hate, they're going to watch it regardless, because they want to hate on it, and they're going to hate on it and hate watch it. I still think it's going to be undeniable, like, something still is going to bleed in. I always think that, usually. But I don't know, we'll have to see.
I don't think about those people, so...
I try not to think about those people, but when something like this does come out, I do think, like, if they made a Spider-Man movie that was also a trans allegory, which some might argue.
Well, what about a Spider-Man movie where Spider-Man's black,
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's like, people are, if they love those characters, they're going to be forced to have to engage with these things.
Yeah.
And it's either that or... Well, like, you have to miss out on the Spider-Man movie this year.
Yeah.
And that sucked. Like, that, me saying that hurt more than the idea of me seeing a Spider-Man movie with a trans person or a black person or anything. Or any superhero thing for a minority.
I mean, here's another solution. Just don't watch it. No one cares. Like, no one cares if you don't watch it. Like, I don't know. I think about that. It's like, I don't know. I'd rather you just not watch the movie. Like, I mean... It's whatever, like...
I get that too, but also, I don't know. I like it when, I prefer a person to watch it and complain about it than to not watch it and still complain about it. Does that make
I
sense?
don't, because if they haven't watched it, what the fuck are they complaining about?
Yeah, that is true too. That is true too. Because then you know for sure they don't know what they're
Yeah,
talking about.
like, I don't know.
That is interesting. Yeah, that is interesting. Oh, what else? What else did you like about the movie, especially as less concerned with the DC stuff?
I just like how it was made, honestly, and how it looks. I mean, a lot of the what the hell do they call it? Multimedia, the mixed media, that's the word I'm looking for. A lot of that stuff is really great. I said this in a review that for Letterboxd or whatever, but I said it reminds me of Amazing World of Gumball, because it has all these just 3D characters, all these 2D characters and 2D scenes and these matte paintings and all these backgrounds from video games like Quake and stuff, and just it's really cool to see, and it all works well because it's like the tone of the movie already sets up is like this wacky zany kind of story, but then it also has this this deep touching story, but I don't know, it's just it works so well together. I remember my brother was like, I don't really know if I'm supposed to laugh at this or cry at it, because it's just it's so conflicting, but that's what works so well, because it's because that scene where it's just this Quake background pops up when Jason Todd is talking about the Batman and all that, and the Quake background just pops up out of nowhere. It's this is so left field and just so, I don't know, it's really surreal and interesting.
Yes. And I also I said while we were watching the movie, they learned all the right lessons from Speed Racer. I'm not joking when I say that. Have you seen Speed Racer?
No.
This mother effer. I swear to goodness. Because when I said that, I could feel you rolling your eyes a little bit. And I'm just like, you haven't even seen Speed Racer. The Wachowskis directed it,
Yes,
mother effer.
I know.
And it's crazy. It's a
Yes,
crazy
I
looking
know.
movie. And they utilize green screen all different.
I even roll my eyes. What do you want me to say? I was okay. That's all I said. I was okay.
I could feel it. I could feel like your mental eyes rolling.
No, I don't have any reference point for that. I know what you mean by that because it's all these bright colors and stuff, but I haven't seen the movie.
And also the utilizing the green, whatever. Anyway,
yeah, and the green screen. I know. I'm just saying I haven't seen the movie, so what am I supposed to say?
I'm just saying. But yes, the mixed media stuff was very interesting. I also thought about Michael Bay. And you're wondering why. Here's why.
Now that I'm rolling my eyes at him.
And no, you should. But here's why. Because Michael Bay, he's really good at the sort of kinetic editing, taking one shot and sort of like if you took a whip pan and then tying that whip pan to another shot that carries on that momentum. Does that make sense? Whatever. This does that in a certain way. I noticed when we switch from a green screen to an animated thing to then maybe a CG thing or whatever, how it use these little tricks to get the camera from one spot to the next spot and then, play out that sort of scene, whatever.
Bro, talking about Johnny Test over here. It's a whip pan.
Oh my god! Yeah, F you, man, F you. But gosh darn it, I thought it was interesting. Another thing, the animated moments, which I thought it was actually pretty decently animated for what it was, especially the end fight. I thought that was pretty good. But what I like about those two specific animated scenes is when not only is it trying to save a little money, trying to do a little bit better of a scene by making it animated, but also the sex scene between the Jokers is animated. Mm-hmm. But I didn't think about it maybe they're trying to skirt around how to show the sex by making it animated. I didn't think about it like that until after. But I was thinking about it as, oh man, their shared love is just so powerful. They're just in another realm in a way, was what I was thinking of. And then at the end when they were doing the fight, it starts out they're trying to fight, and I'm thinking about them being animated because I was using that original idea of they're in another realm. But then the friends join in. I'm like, oh, they're like a big old team friends in a realm helping each other, or whatever, like
But
emotional realm.
I think this movie was also shot during COVID. I'm pretty sure. So
Oh,
yeah, there's a lot of that stuff. So that could be play into it because this movie was shot, I think, like in God, I can't remember, somewhere around 2021, I think, or something like that. So
it definitely screams basement.
yeah, but she shot it all in 5 days. What she said at the
Wow.
Q&A. Yeah, all the live action stuff.
Wow.
They shot in 5 days.
I believe that. I feel like I thought it was a running joke, but I feel like they just used the same Bane clip like 3 times, where he just goes, like, he does that flex.
Yeah.
But I liked it. I really did like it. I liked the. I also like the story with the mom because it's just a. We see a lot of different narratives when it comes to dealing with like gayness and trying to, express that to a parent. I like when her mom comes back. It's like, okay, I'm coming around on the gay thing, and it's like we're a few blocks past that. We got some more things to talk about. But what I like that wasn't necessarily just trying to. It didn't take her telling her mom about, trying to explain the trans stuff or trying to explain even the sexuality stuff. It took her being like, I have not had one happy memory. Mm-hmm. And it took something like that. And then it was that took that perspective switch for her mother. For her to be like, okay, well, maybe there is a big issue because I can't think of one either. And that's,
And then she got hit in the head with a drone.
yeah, exactly, yeah.
That was what really changed her mind.
That's not, you know what? Maybe. But yeah, I thought it was very good. Like, gosh darn it. I am, like you were, I asked you last time you were on what your favorite movie of the year was, and you said it was this movie.
Yeah.
Do you still agree?
Yeah, it's still this movie.
It's up there. Yeah. It's up there for me, too.
I've seen it 3 times now. It's still my favorite movie of the year. I would watch it again, honestly.
And another thing is, I think this movie, it's a little more hopeful in a way. Like, I saw the TV Glow. I think it's up to interpretation. I'm not going to spoil it. And that's my other favorite movie of the year. Mm-hmm. But there is a big sense of existential dread in I saw the TV Glow. There is a moment where I thought I was dying. So, like, I'm trying to weigh, like, that, that maybe gave me more of an emotional reaction. Mm-hmm. But this one, I was more delighted while watching. So, I don't know. It's a mix. It's a mix.
Yeah, I think, like you said, it has that hopeful tone. I don't know. I really was resonating with that scene with the Joker and Ra's al Ghul. I really like that scene a lot. It's, God, there's something that he says. Talking about where Ra's al Ghul is talking about the person that you were before, is not the person you are now or something. Mm-hmm. I just, like, I don't know, that really stuck out to me, and just that's a really good scene.
Yeah.
Like, every time he's on screen, he just makes me laugh, though.
I thought he made me laugh, but I was also like, through the whole movie, I was wondering how endeared should I be to him, because I didn't know, because he does sort of kick her out of that first audition or whatever, being like, you can't even do improv.
Yeah, yes and.
Yeah, you can't even do yes and. But then when she does come back and get, the further lessons, he is kind of Miyagi-ing her. Yeah. Just trying to be like, look, this is that way you're going to have to go if you're going to, get to the top. And the Necronomicon stuff. I love all the fun, the Evil Dead Necronomicon. Yeah. And they keep flipping through the pages, and it's just more illustrations. And the training montages in the Necronomicon. Yeah. I loved all that stuff. Joker, 2019 Joker. I don't like that movie. Do you like that movie?
Did you watch it?
Yes, I watched it. I saw that in theaters. Man, that movie I think is problematic in some ways. But what I like about this movie, The People's Joker, is it does actually talk about trauma and maybe some things you can do to combat the trauma. And like it shows the negative ways of dealing with it, and also some positive things you could be dealing with it. Whereas the Joker, the movie Joker, 2019 Joker, too many Jokers to say. That movie, it makes me mad because Joaquin Phoenix is excellent in Joker. But the way this effing society likes to make
We live in a society.
exactly. But the way we sort of worship the Joker in a way, I think is like problematic. And then trying to make a Joker a relatable protagonist is, I think, potentially dangerous, especially if people are feeling like, oh, I can relate to this Joker.
Well, I mean, have you seen King of Comedy?
No.
Well, that's just the Joker.
I know.
It's King of Comedy. It's Taxi Driver. So,
Exactly, and that's why I don't like the Joker even more. It's like it's just a remake of these other movies, but arguably less. I haven't seen those movies, so I can't say if it was less.
Taxi Driver?
No, I haven't seen Taxi Driver.
Oh my God, you're talking about me and fucking.
I watched all 10 David Lynch movies recently.
You haven't seen Taxi Driver?
Man, you know what? F. Martin Scorsese. No, I like Martin Scorsese.
Okay.
I like Martin Scorsese. I know. I give Scorsese more credit than Spielberg.
Talking about F. Martin Scorsese. You got Wolf of Wall Street right here.
I do. I like Scorsese a lot. I was literally talking about The Departed yesterday. I love The Departed. People's Joker. I liked it a lot. I thought it was very special. And I can't believe that. So let's talk about this. She's gonna do a sequel.
Yeah.
Against Freddy Krueger.
Yeah.
That I don't know if that's gonna work. I don't know if she's gonna get that pulled off, because these horror monsters are difficult just to make in the franchise, let alone a parody.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. That's what she said, so I believe her. I believe it when I'll see it. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. But that's what she said at the Q&A. She was like, "Yeah, it's a real movie." I was like, "Oh, okay." I thought it was just like a joke.
It's exciting because, like, if she can make that happen, all bets are off. Like, one is one thing, one movie,
yeah.
But two, that's a floodgate. That's like, what else can someone else make and then sell and then make money off of? It's insane. I'm like, I don't know. Like, I know I keep talking about that stinking copyright stuff a lot, but it's monumentous. It could be the gateway for everything. Everything. Like, imagine anybody could do anything. And you just say it's parody. I'm sure it's not that easy. But, I mean, she made a movie. A coherent movie. Had a story. And had characters she didn't know. Pretty neat. Pretty goddamn neat. All right, that's it. I don't know. The end. You got any social medias? I don't know. Do you want to do any plugs? You can plug.
My social media is my name, Zachary Braxton, on everything. Yeah, that's about it. Yeah, on everything. Instagram, X.
I refuse to even acknowledge it being called that.
Yeah, that's me. I should be making some videos. How did you stop?
No, I didn't stop.
Yeah, I should be making some videos. So once I get a YouTube worked out and all those videos, I'll plug that.
Hey, I mean, you should. I do it. I do it all the time. Yeah. I don't know. Once you get into I'm not trying to give you advice. I have stupid advice, but people do it. Like with podcasts, I know people will be like, 30 is around the time people quit, so just push past 30. Yeah. At a certain point, it just becomes second nature. Like, I do this now.
Well, I mean, yeah, this is just like a side thing right now, so I can flex some creative muscles and get some opinions and stuff off and all that. So it's not, it's just that kind of project, really.
I get you. Well, alrighty.